brewery opened in 2013. October 31st, 2013 was our first brew. Happens to be Reformation Day, which is the anniversary of Martin Luther nailing his 95 Theses to the wall on the church in Wittenberg. Well, we started brewing beer in, 6 or 8 years ago. We brewed at my house. We invited a few folks over one Friday, and then once a month on a Friday, people would come over. It went from 3 or 4 people to 80, 90, 100 plus people would be there the third Friday of every month. So we said, you know, we got something going here. We like the community. We like the fact that people brought their families and food, and we just like the whole atmosphere that brewing brought. So we thought, well, let's go ahead and open a brewery. My house was getting too small, and people encouraged us, seemed to like the beer, and that was it. Reformation Brewery started. What style is the most fun to brew? Usually the new style is the most fun to brew, especially as we're kind of tweaking the recipe and working out the bugs. There's a technical part of it where you look at the recipe and you change things and temperatures, and then there's also kind of the taste side or the artistic side. So I like kind of where those things happen. Once the beer is established and it's a steady beer we brew, we have to really be careful to brew it the same every single time. So really the recipes that we're developing are always the most fun to brew. They're new and exciting, and so that would be my favorite, whatever the newest. The thing I dislike the most about being a brewmaster would be the amount of time it takes. Prior to brewing and owning a brewery, I still am an airline pilot, and I only flew about 12 days a month. I'm down here about 6 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day, and that's the toughest part really is the physical aspect of it, being away from home and my family, and really that's what I like least. So missing my family and all the time it takes to do this. The biggest problem we have in producing beer is really yeast management. It's the most challenging aspect. The grain can sit for a few months at a time. The hops can sit for a few months at a time, but the yeast is a living organism, so we really have to manage that. We use several different strains that go into different styles of beer. So you have to plan your brews so that you have yeast ready to go. We propagate our own yeast, so we start with a small amount and we grow it over time so that it's ready. So you have to plan that the propagation aspect of the yeast, you're ready to go when you're brewing that day. And so really yeast management and scheduling of the beers to facilitate the yeast management is the toughest part. Favorite kind of beer is like asking me which one of my kids is my favorite. It varies. In the summer when it's hot, I might like a pale ale or a Belgian wit or a Hefeweizen. In a day like today when it's cold and gloomy, a nice stout is good. Depends what I'm having to eat, and so yeah, I like them all really. So it just depends on the moment. Goals and dreams for the future would be that Reformation Brewery continues to grow, that we are able to produce a good quality beer that people like, that we're profitable, and that we continue to kind of spread the theme of Reformation Brewery about community and enjoying the moment, and it changing beer culture from drink as much as you can drink to enjoy the moment and savor the time that you have with family and friends or for whatever you're having the beer for. So that's my goal, is just to see the Reformation aspect of Reformation Brewery spread.